Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're going to talk about a lot of things, but before that I'm just going to mention my progress. For this week I completed the solo event. I would have completed the event at least 1.5 days ago, but I just waited and waited to join the leaderboard event a bit late so that I could get the extra 10 tickets. I have no idea whether I can actually get them now, but finally got the new version Flora Dragon. It's pretty cool. And going to the inventory right now, it will be there as an egg. Have a lot of dragons to hatch. Speaking of new dragons, I have managed to complete the bottomless dungeon and get the Murano dragon by opening 15 multi-open chests. I also managed to breed the rune tag dragon using the double egg relic, which was pretty nice. And now I'm trying to breed the new dragon of the month, Robin Hood dragon, which would be a tricky one to get. And interestingly, the heroes challenge has already started, which I don't know when that happened, but I got Murano, and I think that is a good progress so far. And yeah, so I'm gonna go back to the PC and talk about the new update and also the upcoming Tyrant event. You can see the altar rising from the water. So I'm back on my PC and we're going to talk about the latest update that has arrived in the game. The first update is obviously regarding the Tyrant event, the Dormant Fire, Tyrant Fire. Yep, the worst kept secret of Dragon Hunter is finally out. The next Tyrant event will be coming in April, themed around the element of fire. This time, the trainers, with Paula and Portia leading the way, are heading to a long forgotten tropical island that is rumored to have been a secret Tyrant base for experimenting with their Tyrant Dragon creations. And the Tyrant event timeline is already revealed, so we're going to talk about that a bit later. Next is the mega habitats. So we have already revealed the details of the mega habitats, but let's read the full rundown. This new feature allows players to collect special habitats that can be placed together and then merged once all pieces are in place for a special massive 10 by 10 habitat. Mega habitats don't require upgrading and don't cost anything to merge or unmerge if you really want. Additionally, you'll be able to store a maximum of 250,000 gold in a mega habitat. There's no limit as to which dragon rarities you can include into the mega habitat. The feature works by having a special merge button appearing once all four pieces of mega habitat are placed in the correct order next to each other. The first of these is the fairy tale mega habitat, which is themed on folklore and fairy tales. Each of the four parts is available for unlocking fairy tale dragon of the month, with each seasonal meta collection unlocking one piece. The first of these Sweet Forest habitat and is unlocked when hatching the next 3D Dragon of the Month, starting with the Robin Hood. So basically, the gist of it is you'll be getting these kind of habitats which looks like piece of a bigger habitat. You can see this piece of the cloak or sundial, I guess, a bigger plot or bigger habitat. You can see the quarter of the cloak or sundial, whatever you call it, and collecting all those habitats and placing them in this order, for example, there will be a merge button that appears above this habitat, and clicking on it will merge them to form this mega habitat. And basically, the mega habitats are generally going to be pay to win, as in you'll be seeing them appear in bundles where each of the piece will be available as a bundle habitat. And but for this Dragon of the Month yearly collection, we'll be able to collect one mega habitat, one entire mega habitat, for free, free to play if you just collect all the 12 Dragon of the Months. And as they mentioned in the announcement, um, each of the four parts is available for unlocking Fairy Tale Dragon of the Month, with each seasonal meta collection unlocking one piece. So there will be four collections with three Dragon of the Months each, and completing those collections will give you the pieces of the mega habitats. So this is okay, I guess, in some way, like you allowing players to get something like the special skin habitats, which houses dragons of all rarities, um, for free to play. I think that's okay, but that still doesn't address the big issue. Gift all button. Remember how we once said that the in demand gift all button wasn't ever going to happen? Well, about that. In the very first step in our grand plans to improve the game's social and clan systems, we decided that the best thing to do is to provide a gift all button once and for all. In fact, we are removing individual gifting completely, so now you only have two options when it comes to gift. When it comes to gifting, gift all or claim all. There's obviously be a once daily action as it was with the previous system. Only now you'll gift all of your top 200 friends with the same usual gifts as always. If you have more than 200 friends, then anyone after the top 200 will not receive a gift from you. So that is one good change that I guess is appreciated. Um, The next unique new feature that will allow players who collect the seasonal treasure reward to unlock an exclusive event where bonus rewards can be found. While this feature will allow us to use it in a variety of ways in the future. For the time being, this seasonal buff will unlock special ruin exploration events. Here's an example of how it will work. Players taking part in any of the major events, such as the upcoming Tyrant event, can unlock the seasonal treasure item from the event's milestone rewards as part of the non-premium rewards. This will unlock a special ruin exploration event that will be available only to those players that have acquired the seasonal treasure item. Continue to explore ruins for extra rewards. And they also put out the details for this seasonal treasure room exploration event, which we're going to talk about. But let's talk about the Tyrant event. So the next Tyrant will be here in April. It will start today, actually. But we want to highlight some of the changes we have made in the event setup as a direct result of your feedback. We will reveal the specifics of the event closer to the time in our usual event timeline, but here's the general changes we plan to introduce. So we have an easier dragon grade. So we significantly adjusted the difficulty of the dragon grade so that it should be much easier for players to complete a level. Scaling of the difficulty will not be so large either. So even as players progress, they won't come across unfair blocks to progress. Now the event itself will include more reward chests in each level. So it's up to the player to decide how long they think they can survive to maximize the rewards that they can claim from each level. There is no collection reward. So unlike the Tyrannos Dragon collection in the first Tyrant event, which was very pay to win because most players would end up with just one Tyrant from the altar. Some would end up with two Tyrants if they get really lucky, but getting four Tyrants and hatching them to unlock the major reward, that was never a right idea for Game Love to implement. So I think removing the collection reward is a good idea. But let's see what they're gonna do with that collection dragon now. So we removed the fifth tyrant dragon from the collection event, and because there's no collection event at all, each of the four chapters will still have a dedicated tyrant dragon, and they will each be available in the altar. So you can choose which of the four tyrants you want. But the fifth and the main fire tyrant, however, is available as parts inside the chests in the puzzle grid. So you need to aim for more chests if you want to make this one yours. So basically, the major dragon of this tyrant event, he is going to be as Pacey's dragon in the grid chests. And if you want to get that dragon, you need to open as many chests as possible. You can't just ignore the chest and take the tickets and move to the next level. That is not a good way to apparently complete the Ignis Faber dragon. So we're gonna see. So I think it's a better idea to just look at the new Tyrant dragons that they have released, and we do have a video regarding that, and so it is here. So we're just gonna look at the video. So we have Ignis. So we have Ignis Nebius, and Ignis Nebius has the elements Torrent, Fire, Energy. Looks pretty cool, I think. The elements, I was expecting it to be fire, water, tyrant because that would have been a good combination. But fire energy works as well, so that's a nice tyrant. We also have Lignorum. Now, Lignorum is tyrant, fire, plant, dragon. Another cool looking design, I think. And we also have this flag rose dragon, which is tyrant, fire, void. I think it could be useful to some people. It's not a bad dragon in the end. I don't really like the design, as in it looks dull to me, even though it is flamey and you can literally see the fire on it. But it still feels a bit dull. It could have been more flashy, I guess. And the fourth tyrant is Magma Lapis, and everyone expected this one to be Fire Earth Tyrant, but this one was in fact a Fire Light Tyrant. So um, it's a rabbit. Magma Lapis means magma rabbit, and it does look like a rabbit, but still can't figure out why it is light and not earth. But I don't decide the elements of the dragons. And this is, unfortunately, they made a typo with this Magma Lepus. Its name is not Magma Lepus. Its name is Ignis Faber, which is Ignis, the same as Ignis Nebius, but Faber, which is Faber. So that's the main um, dragon of the event. And this is the Fire Legend Tyrant. This is the main dragon that we'll be getting from the Great Chest, as in we will need to open as many Great Chests as possible to get its pieces. And yeah, this one is a pretty neat looking tyrant in my opinion. But let's talk about the next point. So we have reduced revive and shield cost. So in the first time event, the shield and the revive costed 100 gems each, but now the revive costs 30 gems and the shield costs 15 gems. I think it's pretty reasonable compared to the expensive cost from the previous event. It's very nice. We also have quicker story elements, so we reduced the number of roles needed to unlock the narrative elements of the event, so everyone can enjoy the time storyline no matter how much they intend to play the event. This is for those people who are interested in the lore of Dragolandia. So if you're interested in that, I guess you can consider yourself very lucky. So these are all the new changes that happened. There's no collection reward. The Dragon Grid is apparently easier. We have shields and revives costing much cheaper than before. All right, so we're now going to talk about the the Dragon Grid timeline. So let's talk. So So these were all the changes they made to the Dragon Grid, but we're gonna discuss about the Dragon Grid timeline itself. I think that is very important. It's nearly time for the trainers to head out to an old tyrant base to uncover the caged fire tyrants hidden there. Once the home of the plant ancients, the tyrants used the dormant volcano as a secret base for their experiments in creating the tyrants. But the fire tyrants cannot be contained forever, and let's just directly talk about this. The Dormant Volcano Town event will return with the Dragon Grid event alongside a few changes to make things a little easier. We just talked about the changes above. Will return with the Dragon Grid event alongside a few changes to make things a little easier for players to take part in when compared to last year's The Lost Tyrants event. That one was not a good event, and I hope this event is going to be better overall. As with the previous Tyrant event, there'll be 4 chapters, each with their own dedicated Tyrant chests, Tyrant tickets, and Dragon Grid energy. This means everything except the Altar Talismans will reset on a weekly basis, so spend what you get before a new chapter starts. Dragon Grid. Each week throughout the event, there will be a new Dragon Grid event, which we have reworked to make it easier to progress through the event. And additionally, now there will be no collection event. Therefore, no reward dragon for collecting. They made a typo there. For collecting all 4 Tyrant dragons, instead the 5th Fire Tyrant, Ignis Faber, will be available within this chest as potential reward, and this is the Ignis Faber Dragon, the main Tyrant, which is Tyrant File Legend, will be available within these chests as potential rewards. Pieces of it. Collect all 500 dragon parts for this dragon throughout the 4 weeks of the Puzzle Grid event, and you'll unlock this dragon. We also reduced the cost of the revive feature to 30 gems, and the shield can be bought for 15 gems now. We also readjusted the grid energy. Now you will begin with a starting grid energy of 10, while the recharge time for a single energy is always 30 minutes, regardless of energy booster level. And now the starting energy max capacity is 2, increasing by 2 with each energy booster level up until a total maximum of 16. Energy booster level 8. High capacity levels unlocked at Dragon Grid level 10, 20, 50, 80, 120, 150, and 200. So what it means is basically you start the new Dragon Grid with 10 energies, but the main capacity is going to be 2 energies, and the capacity starts increasing on these levels here. So at level 10, your energy capacity will increase to 4 energies. At 20, it will become 6. At 50, it becomes 8. At 80, it becomes 10. At 120, it becomes 12. At 150, it becomes 14. And at level 200, you get a maximum of 16 energies. And each energy takes 30 minutes to recharge. So let's see if it is possible to reach 200 levels every single week of the great event. I don't know because the great event last time was a disaster and it was so difficult at some point. You just have to pray to RNG that you don't get too many traps. So we're gonna see that later. The Tyrant chest, the setup for the Tyrant chest will follow a previous format in these kind of events. Inside each chest will be a number of talismans which can be used to purchase Tyrant Dragon parts from the altar. But in addition to the talisman, there will also be one reward from the following: food, gold, VIP tickets, Dragon Fuel Potion, parts for the Orange Wing Dragon, and parts for the Northern Dragon. Now, in the previous Tyrant event, every chapter, so 4 weeks corresponded to 4 chapters. Every chapter had these dragon pieces, changing every week. But it seems like these dragons will remain the same for the entire Tyrant event. But I hope that is not the case because I don't know why it would be like this. Because people will get multiple of these dragons, and I don't know. I don't really know how they change the event difficulty, especially in getting those dragons. But Spicy Dragon, Orange Wing Dragon, and Northern Dragon pieces that you can get from the Tyrant chest. And remember that each week is a new chapter of the event, meaning each Monday at 12 p.m. GMT, the Tyrant tickets you have are reset to 0. So to avoid losing anything, make sure to spend your Tyrant tickets each week prior to the start of the new chapter. Any talismans collected from the Tyrant chest are not lost between chapters. Basically, talismans are not lost, but tickets are reset. So you have to spend your tickets and collect talismans. Talismans remain until the end of the event. So, as with the previous Tyrant event, unlocking the reward dragon in the dungeons each week will unlock an enhanced avatar in the Dragon Grade with increased stats. This will improve your survivability in the Dragon Grade and will be helpful for surviving long enough to collect every chest in each level. But hopefully, this will not feel as essential as it did in the previous event due to easy levels in the grade. So, the last great event, if you did not get the Dungeon Dragon, chances are you would not be able to progress as far. Of course, you spend lots of gems to buy revives and shields and all those sort of things. But because they made the Dragon Grid easier, just they hope that we might not struggle as badly anymore, and the Dungeon Dragon might not be absolutely necessary every single week. But basically, we have 4 chapters, so we will have 4 different dungeon weeks. Every chapter has its own avatar. So we have chapter 1, Imperial Agdrag, chapter 2 with Festival Dragon, chapter 3, Gaio Dragon, and chapter 4, Longui Dragon. Basically, every chapter you have to do dungeons and try to get the dungeon dragon as soon as possible. You don't have to hatch the dragon, you just have to collect the dragon from the dungeon chest, and that's more than enough. Now, if you look at the milestone rewards, it is not really as good as we would have expected because Rune Tech Dragon breeding token, which they mentioned in this shrine bonus, unfortunately, Rune Tech Dragon is not in fact going to be available in the talisman milestones. It will be available in the Dragon Master Pass. So if let's look at the milestone rewards, the town events will also come with a set of personal milestone rewards which are earned by spending talismans in the altar. The rewards will include time tickets, gems, food, VIP tickets, and more. If you purchase the premium milestone pass, and not only unlock the talisman shrine, it will generate additional talismans to collect throughout the event, but you also gain access to bonus milestone rewards, and these are all the milestone rewards. Basically, you have Chocolate Dragon, Instant Dragon Breeding Token, Rune Tech Dragon Breeding Token. Actually, the Rune Tech Breeding Token is a mistake, and it is in fact some of the dragon they will be replacing because Rune Tech is actually available in the Dragon Master Pass and not in the milestone for the Tyrant event. So it will probably be replaced with some other epic. Um, we also have Leo Dragon Breeding Token and Cartoon Dragon Breeding Token. So all these dragons, unfortunately, are not new for me, and I'll probably not buy the shrine. But unfortunately, the reward's not really as good, and realistically, you can get to around this 3,000 talisman miles if you have really good RNG. So that's 20 enchantment tickets. And last time the shrine was not on sale, so it was like $10 for Android users, I think, and I think that was too expensive for a lot of players. So I do hope that they put the shrine on sale, but I doubt they will do that. So expect a $10 shrine, and if you guys think this is worth it, then you can go for it. I did buy the shrine in the previous event for Arcane Dragon breeding token. I bred two Arcane Dragons. For me, it was worth it, but for others, it may not be as worth. So it's all your choice. Seasonal buff runes exploration. Any player who reaches tier 8 of the milestone rewards, the 900 talisman spend will unlock the seasonal buff reward, which will in turn unlock access to the special runes exploration event. This means you'll gain access to the additional rewards available as part of the new milestones within the runes that are unlocked when collecting the rune XP. Through this, you'll be able to unlock the usual rewards of gold, food, and the like, as well as parts first for the pipe dragon, and then once completed, the reptilian dragon. So basically, if with this seasonal buff rune exploration event, you're going to be able to collect pieces of pipe dragon, and after that, the reptilian dragon. These are dragons that I already have, so I'm not sure if this event is any useful for me. But for those who don't have these dragons, it could probably help them in completing. We don't even know how these events look. So once we spend 900 talismans, we'll be able to try this new seasonal buff rune exploration event and see how exactly it's going to be working, whether it will be free to play or whether it's insanely pay to win. So this special runes exploration event will last until the end of the tournament regardless of when the seasonal buff reward was collected. So you have it'll be it'll be really nice if we can get it as early as possible without too much delay because it will only last up until the Tyrant event. And to be honest, like when I played the first Tyrant event, I had decided that I will not be playing the future Tyrant events unless they make major changes to it, unless they make the event more doable for most of the player base. And looking at these changes, the Dragon Grid being more easier, they say they removed the collection event altogether, and the main dragon, in this case, is Ignis Faber, with no collection event, and you can get the Ignis Faber through just opening as many Dragon Grid chests as possible. It will be a tough task in collecting all 500 dragon pieces for the dragon. Maybe it's possible F2P, I mean free to play, depending on how frequently you can log in. But let's say, and we also have the events schedule, and we just are done with this week. And we had a solo event, and Murano dragon in the dungeon. So I'm not going to talk about that week, but I'm going to talk about this week. So we have Moon Rabbit Dragon in as a Dragon of the Week. We have Hero Challenge, which will need the Dragon of the Month. Robin Hood Dragon, which is a pretty cool looking dragon. I actually like the Robin Hood Dragon. And yeah, I guess that's pretty nice. We also have Wilderness Dungeon with Imperial Egg Dragon and Chestnut Dragon in the shop. We have Clan Siege, Gold Frenzy. We also have VIP weekend events. We have Golden Opportunity and Dinner Time for Palm and Envy Dragon. We also have the next digital campaign starting for the Veteran Dragon, so that's nice. The second week, we'll have a boss challenge with the Hornbill Dragon. We also have Bottomless Dungeon with the brand new Festival Dragon. So this is a brand new dragon altogether along with the robot dragon in the shop. We also have the dragon of the week with Sentinel Dragon, which is a pretty rare dragon that hasn't really appeared in events recently, only available as a gem purchase, but now will be available in this week, in the second week, as the dragon of the week. There is no lucky breeding, however, so you have to remember that. We also have gem spending event with Green Agate as milestone and the Greyhound Dragon on the leaderboard. So Greyhound Dragon is a premium dragon that was always available behind unlocked, that was always locked paywalled behind milestones, be it the Divine Fest Talisman milestones or the Ancient Event milestone. We also have weekend events with Golden Gatherer and Cocoa Crab Dragon. So we also have weekend events with Golden Gatherer and Farming Fanatic for Coco Crab and Dial Dragon respectively. We also have Food Frenzy, so that's kind of cool. Then the third week is going to be a Blade Spreading match, the Razor Ham Dragon with the Rogue Dragon to get Splotch. So the Rogue Dragon will be the Dragon of the week, and Razor Ham is not really mentioned anywhere. The Dungeon Dragon will be Gaio Dragon, and Spellwork will be in the shop. There is a Dragon's Delight with the Fjord Dragon and the Verdant Flora Dragon as a leaderboard. I don't know why there's Verdant Flora again. We just had Verdant Flora this week in the solo event, so probably a typo. It will probably be a different dragon altogether. But Fjord will be the main reward for the Dragon's Delight. We also have an Enchanted Trinket Frenzy, which is pretty cool. We also have Golden Gatherer with Pineapple Dragon and a gem spending event at the end of the week with the Indian Dragon as a milestone reward and the Warthog Dragon on the leaderboard. Warthog is another premium dragon that was always locked paywalled behind premium milestones, so it's going to be pretty hard getting that. And the fourth week will be from 24th April to 1st May. We have Boss Challenge with Nocturne Dragon. We also have Dungeon with Longui Dragon, and Axolotl will be in the shop. We also have the Aloha Dragon as a Dragon of the Week, so that's pretty cool. And we have Dinner Time with Costume and Golden Opportunity with the Pixie. Also Gold Frenzy, so that is something interesting. Now about this Bash the Razor Ham Dragon with Rogue Dragon, there is no Razor Ham mentioned in the weekly schedule. However, we did talk about this Tyrant chess, and before we had like 4 chapters, so the dragon pieces changed every chapter. And here they didn't really mention which are the dragons that we'll be having. So my assumption is Razorham will be available in these time chests in the third chapter as one of the epics. So I think these dragons will be changing throughout the chapters, but I may be wrong. Maybe there is another way to get Razorham dragon, perhaps. Who knows? But that is all to it, and that's all I guess we had to look about. So I guess that's it for the video, and we discuss all this in details. If you want to read all this, you can always join the Quackerlex Discord server, which I have mentioned the link to join. If you are interested in if you're interested in reading these more details, you can always join the Quackerlex Discord server or join the official Dragon Mania Legends Discord server. The details are mentioned in the game announcements channel. Either way, whatever you prefer, you can always look into it. So, good luck for the Tyrant event, and I hope that you guys will be able to get all the dragons that you guys want. And I'll see you next time.